Good afternoon, Stock Trader Network pre-market prep YouTube channel. We are here with Trader Prad, the trading edge with Trader Prad. Prad, good afternoon. How do you do today, sir?
Hello, folks. Doing good. Watching the market bounce a little bit of a relief rally right now. I'm not gonna call it a bounce just yet, but things are heading in the right direction if you're looking for a long. And I am indeed situated for that trade at the moment. We got a lot on the board today, guys. So let's have some fun. And also, like I said in the chat, we got a special guest at 1:15. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. A lot of you guys know the special guest already. So it's not going to be that big of a surprise when you see him, but it's going to be great to have him on with us. Talk about the current moves in the market. Talk about the crazy down move that came out of nowhere, caught us all off guard. So let's get ready for some rumble action on the market.
Who do you think is making money today in the market? If there's a lot of people that seem to be kind of struggling today, what type of investor, what type of trader is making money today, do you think, Brad?
Michael Burry.
That's what Phil just said in the chat.
Michael Burry. I mean, he's been sitting on top of the mountain talking about how he's short Palantir, how he's short this, how he's short that, how his whole portfolio is now short. And that's clearly makes sense how the market went from tiny green to being down 1.5%, or not 1.16% here on the QQQ. Has to be Michael Burry making all those money out there, and some day traders too. You know, day traders love to short. I myself pride myself in being a short seller because I make more money shorting stocks than I make money going long stocks. So days like today are good days for people like me, normal day traders. Sadly, not a good day for swing traders. You know, my dad, my personal portfolio, my long-term account.
Yeah.
Not a good day for that, but great day for short sellers for sure.
So you kind of sound like you were a little caught off guard by the move lower. I mean, we
Yeah.
all knew we were waiting for Nvidia, but now that we have Nvidia and the market is dumping already, I mean, what else do we have to look forward to now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was saying this the last Thursday. Is Nvidia going to save the market? We've all seen the memes on Twitter, on social media. Oh, nice pump going on the market here. We bounced from 590 to 593. I forgot to share my screen, so let me just turn that on while I'm
Cool.
talking.
Yeah.
But we were all expecting the market to or Nvidia to kind of save the market and stop it from crashing too far to the downside. And right, it kind of did that in the after hours yesterday. We got a nice pump it from off of Nvidia. Market had a pump off of that. Market gapped up today because of Nvidia, I'd say so. But then the complete 180 slammed down, and it was so systematic. If you looked at the chart, the chart did not have a single red candle for I mean green candle for how long now? This is the most systematic selling I've seen in a very long time. And this is what I
Sure.
would say is a sell program. Someone just turned on the sell program and they just didn't stop the selling at all. It was so systematic, bang, 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 all the way to what I think was a pretty key major level. I have this level mapped out right around 588, 590. I believe if we lose this level on the QQQ, this 588 to 590 area, market potentially heading into, let me just pull in my other charts with the other moving averages. I believe we are heading into the 200-day moving average. And I actually posted a little YouTube short and Instagram short on my personal channel about how to catch the trade, which is called the V-shaped recovery if it comes into play. So I'll talk about that if the market ever goes into the 200-day. But right now, the way things are looking, it's looking scary. Market looks like it wants to crash. It wants to go test the 200. But for now, fingers crossed, I'm praying that the market doesn't go below 590, 580, 850, because I think that's the good support level. As you guys can see, I'm currently long right around the 590. My stop for this trade is 580, 589, 588. And taking some profits at the moment as we are getting the move. So long 590, markets at 590, 350. So up like what, $3.5 in the money on this trade. But we're not done yet. We're looking for a bigger move up over here for a nice little bounce on the market. Market just now getting above the 9 moving average on the 5 minutes. So things are looking a little bit better for the longs, but still not out of the clear picture. You got to be careful just in case the Bears come right back in.
You giving me a little bit of reassurance, Brad? Is there any way we can change? Can you change the background in your room? Like, does it just work that way if you change that
Yeah, yeah.
to green?
Alexa, lights green.
Lights. Okay, here we go.
Ah!
So now the market, we got 30 points on the SP 500 futures to go. Can we turn this thing positive
Now,
today? Is that crazy? Is that a crazy thought?
nah, I don't think we're gonna go green on the market, Slava. If we do, I'll have to eat my shorts. But I don't think we're going green on the market. But as a day trader, all you need are these little opportunities out there that are being given. Right before we went live, I was talking about this UVXY trade, and I don't know if you heard the level that I called out. I said 62.90. And if UVXY, which is basically another instrument for VIX, that's the volatility index, if UVXY goes below 62.90, potentially a good bounce is incoming on the overall market. So you could have shorted UVIXY, you could have gone long QQQ. So right now there are good indications that we're gonna get a decent rally back into at least yesterday's VWAP. Yesterday's VWAP right now is around $600, and you can notice how today's VWAP, which is the red dotted line, is actually getting drawn or pulled, I want to say, right into yesterday's VWAP. So that basically, I've seen this pattern multiple times. That means there's a good chance that we get something like this for the middle portion of the day, and then possibly, sadly, we go right back after this to the downside if we don't see buyers coming in and taking it back us through the VWAP. But I think this is what is the scenario. But our special guest today will have some proper educated opinion because they've been in the markets way longer than I have. So they should be coming up in about 6-7 minutes or so. So stay tuned for that.
I like the teases.
Gotta do what I gotta do to hype the market and hype the audience over here. Some people might be getting bored of the market going down and they might have turned off their TV or their trading platforms. But hey, guys, money to be made here, short or long. Let's make some money. I don't know if you guys have seen Nvidia earnings or Pan W earnings. There's so much going on out there in the market at the moment. Even Bed Bath Works, I think that's how you say it,
Oh yeah.
BBWI. They got slammed today. Walmart though, Walmart usually when the market's going down holds up, and because Walmart reported earnings today in a good fashion, I think they also raised their guidance. Walmart is also a good spot to look into for some trades, currently holding up right above its VWAP. So lots of earnings names, lots of stuff to move around. Bitcoin getting slammed to the downside. There's a lot going on.
What about that? I don't know if you want to take a look at it yet. It didn't seem like it was very exciting, but that IPO from today, the CBC.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that one. So that IPO, as I said, IPOs are my favorite things to take a look at. They are my favorite strategies. I make the most money on an IPO. But over here, I guess I'll show you a different chart because the main reason why I use white colors is to disassociate myself with the red or green action, because people will look at red
Whoa.
candles or green candles and their psychology and their
Yeah,
mental get affected a little bit. So that's
sure.
why I like to use white neutral colors so my emotions
Wow.
don't get triggered and I don't trade off of emotion. That's a little mental tip for you guys out
Wow,
there.
that's awesome, Brad.
But yeah, this stock has done barely any volume, right? For a $22
Yeah.
stock, it's traded only 3 million shares. It went from $22 to 22.50 and then kind of came right back. There could be a trade here if you want to short once we break below 22, but honestly, there's better trades out there. It's all
Yeah.
about what has the best expected value as a day trader. Your EV matters a lot, and right now the good EV trade was catching the long on the QQQ, was catching the short on the UVXY, or catching the long on some of the big tech stocks like Nvidia, right? Nice bounce on Nvidia over there, right off of 180, 150. It's basically following the market. So, I have that trade over here. I'm going to take some more profits while I can, because last time I didn't, it went bad against me. So, this IPO, usually IPOs are my favorite thing, and I don't stop looking at it. But when an IPO like this in a sector that's not the most exciting, it's a bank sector, I tend to get demotivated and not really care about the stock. So sadly today IPO, even though I did promise you guys there's gonna
No,
be
it's whatever.
activity and some trades over here
All
to be
good.
made, I just don't think right now the EV is over here. If the market was just going sideways and absolutely boring, a dead fish market, then in that case, maybe there was a trade to be pulled off over here. But right now, with what we're seeing, I mean, guys, I'm $5 in the money on my QQQ long. So
You got in around 590.
yeah, so I got in right
Dang.
around 590. Actually, I first got in at 592. I took a loss on that. Then I got back in at 590, and now I'm basically $5 in the money. I made back my loss, and now I'm just basically printing free money over here on this long. Gotta love it. Just trying to see if there's any variables here that I need to pay attention to. Right now, it just looks like it's free sailing. So I just gotta let the trade work for you. Let the trade do its thing and give you a reason to close your position. Right now, not a single red candle on the 5 minute on this bounce. And if I just trail my position to previous candle 5 minute lows, I'll naturally get stopped out. So my stop right now is 594. If QQQ gets below 594, I'm out of this trade, and I make about $4 per share for the rest of my position. But if it doesn't do that, and it does a systematic move back up like it did on the way down, then all I have to do is just trail it to previous candle lows or trail it to a moving average and let the math do the work for me. I don't have to do work. I don't have to do the heavy lifting. I let somebody else do the heavy lifting. You tell me when I need to close my position and walk away from the trade. So that's the way I try to situate myself. I like to ask questions from the stocks. I like to ask questions from the market. Is this where you would enter? Is this where you would exit? Why would I need to exit around here? Is this in my playbook? Is this in my setup? So constantly just asking questions and then looking for what type of answers I get back from the market, from the stock.
Love it. Love how you're thinking about it.
We're going, chat. We're going right now. We're actually moving up to the upside. Moving up to the upside. That's great. We're moving to the upside, and we're having some fun over here while we're making some money. In the meantime, 2 more minutes until the special guest hops in. So we'll quickly head over to some of the other stocks over here. I want to quickly take a look at Pan W, because I was very surprised by their move here. I was expecting, you can see my drawing on Pan W here. This is the drawing I made last night after hours as my expectation of what I'm thinking about the stock could do. Technically, I was a little correct. You can see how it was playing around in that box. But then, Pan W just completely destroyed. If I remember reading their earnings report accurately, they actually grew, and they were guiding higher, and they were raising their forecast for the full year, raising their forecast for the next quarter. So I'm not sure exactly why Pan W is reacting this way. And I guess you could say part of it is just because of the market. So nice little breakdown over here near the $200 area. And you can see how failure to get back above 200 off the open could have given you a signal to go short. But I think if I was trading Pan W today, my short would have been somewhere around this area after failing to reclaim 195, right around where VWAP would have been. I'm guessing VWAP would have been right around here, and that would have given you a decent short. Walmart was another good name that I mentioned, but very, very sideways action at the moment. Usually when stock market goes down, money gets parked into these retail names. I think staples names is what they call it: Costco, Walmart, and so on. So that could be part of the reason why Walmart's holding up. Obviously, earnings is a reason, but I'm guessing that that Staples reason is also why Walmart is holding up at the moment.
I think that's a good call. That's what Dennis would say for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, if I'm parroting something that the goats are saying,
Exactly.
then I'm
Exactly.
in the right book. Then let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pratt, I do see our guest in the background. Are you
Ooh.
ready for
Yes, sir.
this person? All right, here
Yes,
we go.
sir.
I got an intro for you. Here we go.
Wait a second.
Let's
I'm
go.
a guest. Well, what's going on here?
Yep.
Well, there you go, guys. I told you, you guys know him already, but he wanted to hop on and he wanted to talk about some things going on in the market. And I said, hey, more the merrier. I love having the OGs of the show, the people who got me to come here to come and join the show itself. So more the merrier. Maybe one day we'll have Dennis join us too, and then we can have a nice foursome on this chat.
Okay. Before I get to the markets, I want to talk about trading psychology a little bit. And everyone knows I'm psychotic. So, and just the difference between opinions and execution. Okay. I had opinions yesterday and I had extremely poor execution
Hmm.
and I paid for it.
Yeah.
So, uh, so I sat back and I said, you know what? I need to sit back and get my opinions out of the way and just let the market do what it wants. And my opinion was I was super bearish yesterday. I don't know if it was in front of the Nvidia report. I just think there's a couple factors, and I'll go into that in a second. But I just felt this market had some room on the downside. Opinion wise, technically wise, we're not setting up great. But so today when I decided to back off and I see this higher open of 80, 90, 100 handles, I'm like, boy, was I ever wrong. This market's going back to all-time highs. I know absolutely nothing about this market. I'm staying away. And I did. And I did some things. I stayed away from my computer this morning. We're up 80, 90 handles. I looked at a couple strategies I like to do on higher opens, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to leave this alone. And I come back and we're freaking red. And I
Deep
text
red.
Dennis and I'm like, oh my God. And you look at the catalyst and it was NVIDIA. And we talked about it this morning. NVIDIA led us to the promised land. Even if you're not trading that stock, you had to have it on your screen today.
Yep.
And we gave a level, turned out to be a very good, a very good level. We sold off. Is this the end of the world? I don't know. But this is a bad day in the market. And then so going to my bear, the reason I'm leaning more bearish toward the end of the year, there's a couple different things. One, the technicals, my levels on a weekly basis, we're bearish below 67.75. And if I had just been keying off that level this morning and forgot about everything else, I would have had a pretty darn good day. But like I said, got distracted. The second thing is we've had a tell in the market in Bitcoin over the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, right? The maximum risk asset. And that did not participate in the recent run up to new all-time highs. And it's been weak. So there was another tell in the market. The third thing that we've been talking about is an interest rate cut. And you guys alluded to it earlier. I think with the data that we got today, that December rate cut is kind of off the table.
Yeah.
And then like the final thing is that we've had a hell of a year. I mean, you look at where these S&Ps were in April, we were under 5,000. If you're managing big money and you go from 5,000 to 7,000 and you want your bonus at the end of the year, are you trying to catch falling knives here? Are you trying to initiate new positions? Are you no? And so those are the factors. Where we go from here, I mean, you can make a bullish thesis, you can make a bearish thesis, but right now, this price action today dropping 200 handles from the intraday high to me, it's just going to stack up the sellers more, and the higher we go into pops, I just think that the larger players, the institutions, myself, I mean, I want to go to 100% cash, but I never will. My wife won't let me. But today is a tell. And I think that the information, and Dennis also said that on the show, you got to take what the market gives you. And NVIDIA gave you a rally today. And when we talked about it on the show, it wasn't necessarily, buying we definitely said don't buy the rip. And we said, hey, if you have targets in this area, maybe take some targets. And, you can't super, say, short the market because market goes up 85% of the time. But
Yeah.
that was a long rant there, Prad. I just wanted to talk about your trade that you did. And it was that in the SPY?
That was on the QQQ.
QQQ. Okay.
Yeah, which is about to get stopped out right here as we broke the last 5 minute candle. So I was supposed to get stopped out, but I didn't. And there you go. I'll just punch myself out of the trade. Here's the chart. So basically got about $5 per share out of my money over there. And turned the first trade was a red trade. So I lost about $1.50 on that first trade. But I ended up coming back with making about $5.50 per share. Just a quick little scalp from this 589, 590 area back into 564, 565, sorry, 595, 596 area. And just a quick little day trade scalp. That's all we do over here. Quick little in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm just looking at the triple Qs. I mean, looking at the 50-day moving average, right?
Mm-hmm.
We traded below it, and today it acted as resistance. So
yeah,
I become to respect those moving averages a lot more. We'll see if we can reclaim the 50. I mean, you have some stocks in the Qs that are way below the 50. I mean, look at Meta. That's trade. Look how far that, is away from its 50-day moving average.
Very soon might even give you the, as they call it, the death cross, right? So the 50 is about to get into the 200. And you never want to hear things like a death cross on the market, especially on what is a very loved AI name out there, such as Meta.
Yeah. So, but I want to. I know we just got a few minutes left here, and the one thing that I've been listening to you, and Brent's been refreshing me. But I think the most interesting aspect of your trading is how you incorporate the prediction markets.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like everyone has to, figure out a way to play with prediction markets these days. There's so much going on in prediction markets. So in terms of tying it to the market, actually, I want to show you something very cool I saw yesterday, which is now there's a whole different a form of playing prediction markets in the stock world. This is something I noticed yesterday, and I was completely blown away by it. It's almost like options, right? You're saying what will NVIDIA hit in November, or you're now going into, where is it? What will NVIDIA close above at the end of November? And then you can see how people are pricing in. Obviously, it's going to close above 150, so 97% probability over there. But you can see how people are not thinking it's going to close above 210 after today's move. People are thinking it's not going to close above 220 after today's move. So things like this could give you a little bit of, you could take this information and then go buy puts on the market, or you could take the options directly from the market, come into predictions market, and then try to make a prediction market for yourself where you become the market maker, and then you start facilitating the lines over here. You start offering yes and no shares, and then you start making the rewards that are going on. So there's so much interconnected information going on through Polymarket and through the stock market. For example, we just mentioned again the FOMC probability of getting a rate cut, 60% probability of not getting a rate cut, and people are using this information, correlating it directly with Polymarket. And if you go ahead and type Fed decision in December, There you go. 35% chance that we get a rate cut, 64% chance that we don't get a rate cut by any means. So just extrapolating information from Polymarket, from predictions market, seeing how people are positioning themselves. And this is not like, small money being put in over here. It's $16 million being bet on no change, $16 million bet on 25% decrease. So this is not like child's money that we're talking about. This is information that could be very valuable for day traders, for swing traders, and I think Polymarket, Kalshi. I think there's another one that's coming out from the Binance CEO. CZP, I think it's called opinions.trade. There's so many of these prediction markets spinning up daily, even sports books. I think Joel and I had a little discussion about sports books and prediction markets. DraftKings is coming out with their own prediction market. Robinhood recently launched weather prediction markets. You go and you predict on what the weather is going to be. What am I, a weatherman now? I'm a weatherman, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to go predict there's going to be rain in Toronto during November. No, it's not going to rain. It's going to snow, but that's basically what you can do. And these opportunities are only going to get bigger and bigger. And I fear that the prediction markets are going to eliminate the stock market at one point. Maybe I'm wrong by saying something stupid like that.
No, I
somewhere down the line, I think it's possible.
I don't know about that because of, they're going to need some big lobbyists to prove that. But, I'm not going to go into my whole story with, how long I've been with prediction markets. We're going to have to put you in touch with Michael Franz in the chat, who is very active in the prediction markets. One quick story, and then we're going to do something practical, and then I'm going to let you guys get on with your show. When I was in Chicago, okay, they used to, and this is a long time ago, folks. This is like 1990s, early 90s. Well, there was a guy that made a market in snow futures. How much snow there was going to be in Chicago during the entire winter.
This was on an exchange?
No.
Okay.
He did it out of his pocket, out of his trading jacket. He had bids and he had offers. His name was Eddie.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And he would be like making a market, and then we'd all be that's like, crazy. I think the Merc had writers up, and there would be like 6 inches of snow predicted for Chicago this weekend, and everyone would be running over to Eddie, and he'd be pulling stuff out of his pocket.
That's awesome.
Yep. But so one quick exercise here, and maybe this is something that me and you can follow through on. Are there prediction markets for where the S&P ends the year at?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Just as I showed you for the what was it? For Nvidia, if you just go to stocks, scroll down to, I think there was SPX and SP or QQQ somewhere. They might have removed it now because I just don't see it. Oh, there you go. Indices. So if you go to indices, you can see Russell end of November. FTSE, I think that's the UK or Europe. So DAX, NASDAQ, November 20th.
How about S&P? Do they have S&P cash or S&P futures?
I think this is SPX, so S&P 500. So cash. Futures in a way, cash, sorry, yeah. Okay. So NDX, SPX, it's not SPY or QQQ, it's the other form.
Okay, so what market do they have for the S&P cash right now?
I'm guessing it's just the SPX over here. What's the other one? That's the Bitcoin, that's the Dow, that's the DAX, Hang Seng.
It's probably just the SPX, cash.
That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Can you blow that up for me?
Yeah, so SPX over here currently they're only playing, I think, dailies at the moment. They don't have those longer expirations like they do for Nvidia and stuff. Like I said, the Nvidia one was very new. I've never seen that market before. So potentially these will start getting translated into indices also. But there is one over here, S&P 500 all-time high by December 31st. And you can probably buy no on this for fairly cheap because, like you just said, you don't think the SPY will hit a new all-time high depending on what's going on at the market at the moment. If you believe that, you can buy a dollar for 58 cents on the
So
dollar.
so 58 means that more people think it's going to make an all-time high before the end of the year than they don't.
Correct.
Yeah.
So 45%. I mean, this is a fairly new market, though, so not enough money has been put onto this market yet. You can see the label new over here. So possibly made yesterday or like 2 days ago. Actually, you can see right here, it was made November 18th. So not too long ago was this market created. Not a lot of money has been traded. Maybe a lot of people don't even know about this market yet. Once
Yeah.
people find out about this market, you're going to see these lines moving, and you're going to see people buying up the no. Like myself, I want to buy the
Yeah.
no right now, right? So
Oh,
seeing
Yeah.
the
Oh
no buy up
man,
the
I want
offers.
to. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm on Kalshi because real quick because I'm going to ask a question for how does a person start a market in Poly Market, and that all comes from them, right? From the exchange.
Yeah,
They
so
make up the contracts.
they make the contracts. Yes, what you could do is you join their Discord server and just ask them
Okay.
to make a market for you, and if it's a good enough of a market, they'll make it. If they find that there is value behind it, and if other people come in behind your comment and say, yes, please make this market, then they'll make that market for you gladly.
Okay, I mean, and also the final thing, and then I'm running over already. You could trade this contract. Okay,
Mhm.
let's say you don't have to hold it to expiration.
No,
You can
there's
buy this.
actually a sorry,
Go
go ahead.
ahead.
There's actually a study on Polymarket that only 56% of contracts are held to resolution, and then it just shows that how people don't really care to hold it for that 100%. They buy it at 50, they buy it at 60, they sell it at 95, or they sell it at 89, and they walk away. Make that quick percentage change, and then maybe
Exactly.
you hold some for the resolution instead of holding the whole 100%. And actually doing that has saved me a lot of money because I was getting into the prediction mindset. Playing a prediction market, you start getting into the prediction mindset where you want to be right, where you want to get the cash out at the 100-cent marker. But then the trader in me kicked in. I'm like, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. All I care about is making money. And if my opinion help me move the market in the direction of me making money, let me take my 20%, let me take my 30% and get out. I don't need to hold it for the resolution.
All right, great way to end it. Mike France and I are going to be talking about. I hope there's a market on this on Poly Market. I'm going to go check it right now. I just want to hop in and talk to you. You're doing a great job. I'll let you get on with your stuff, and really appreciate you coming on the network. And there's going to be a lot more Prad in December. So
Thank
thanks a
you for
lot.
having me.
Great being on with you.
Hey, love having you. Anytime you want to jump on Joel or even Dennis or even Brent, I love having people on here talking to each other at all times. So more the merrier. Let's have a party.
Okay. All right. Go get them.
Later, Joel.
Yes, sir. Joel actually mentioned Bitcoin, which kept my head into a meme that I wanted to show you guys. It just kept playing the meme that I wanted to show you guys when he mentioned Bitcoin. So I'll show you the meme right now. The meme is, you know who Pepe Frog is, right, Chad? Everyone knows Pepe Frog. If you
Pepe.
don't, it's basically like a online frog meme character. And
Feels
this
good, man.
is, yeah, feels good, man. That's right. The Twitch emotes, I love them. I love all of them. This is basically Pepe getting beat up, and this summarizes everyone in the Bitcoin market. If you are currently holding BTC USD, I mean, boy, oh boy, that right there, as I mentioned earlier, when the green moving average crosses the purple moving average, so basically the 50-day moving average is now crossing from above below the 200-day moving average, which would be a death cross. When it's the other way around, when the 50-day moving average is crossing the 200 from under it, that's called a golden cross, right? So if you just go back in history and just study how market behaves when we have a golden cross, when we have a death cross, when we have a death cross or a golden cross, these things are valuable information. So how is it valuable? What is it telling you? When I see a death cross, I try not to catch a falling knife. We've talked about falling knives earlier on the stream today. And that's exactly what's happening on Bitcoin right now. A lot of people are trying to catch this falling knife, and they are getting beat up. The name of the game is not to be first to the market, right? A lot of people get chopped up on this side of the move, and when this side of the move starts to show up, they are already burnt out on the mental capital. They don't want to take the risk again because they took a lot of risk on the way down and then they ended up taking losses. So the name of the game is really wait for the turn. You don't have to be first. You don't have to catch the bottom. You just have to be a little right. And if you're a little right catching the turn over here, your risk is very defined. You don't have to guess where your stops need to be on the way down. Now you know where your stop is. You get in over here. You get stopped out over here. If the stop never happens, you enjoy the ride back up. So this is the right side of the V mentality. And I just want to protect people from diving headfirst into buying Bitcoin or buying MicroStrategy at the moment. MicroStrategy completely in destruction mode, going straight back to the downside. Previous resistances not acting as a support, and you know, good things don't happen below 200-day moving average. You can go back in history and look at any stock out there. Apple, Nvidia, QQQ, S&P 500, and just study the chart. Good things happen when stocks are above the 200-day moving average. When stocks are below the 200-day moving average, it's basically doomsday territory. So right now, there are a couple stocks that are still holding up. Apple's holding up very well. You know, it's hard for me to be bearish in the overall market when the tech leaders such as Apple, Microsoft are still far away from their 200-day. Ooh, speaking of which, Microsoft's actually pulling back into the 200-day over here. So maybe a little bit of a worry overall. But you guys get the idea that I'm kind of hinting to is always use these moving averages to help you create a gauge, a barometer of what's actually going on in the market and in the stock that you're looking at.
We've been making the case that Apple is like a staple, is like a consumer staple company. Like it's not really like a tech name. Like, you know, it comes
Not
from
wrong.
tech, but it's turned into something that's a staple. Half of the people in the United States and Canada have iPhones. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
not wrong
literally a
at all.
staple. Yeah,
It,
right. So it's kind of
it's
been trading that way, right?
Yeah, not. I mean, over here in the middle when they were behind on AI, this whole time period when they were not really announcing any AI advancement and they were actually lagging on AI, they struggled. But then once they started creating partnerships with ChatGPT, blah 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 blah, they started going back up. So that was looking good for them. And I'll be honest, me being the Apple hater I am, I was very happy during this period. But hey, I'm making money on this move, so I'm not going to complain. Uh, last time, Slava,
Yeah.
last time I was on the show during the last Thursday, someone in the chat, I forget who, I think it was JV or somebody else, they said it would be nice if Prad showcased how he uses Perplexity Finance and AI tools at his disposal. So I think that was a great question. And I
Oh
want to
yeah.
quickly give a little tutorial, a little intro session to Perplexity Finance and AI in
Awesome.
general. So I'm going to dive into that at the moment for anyone interested. You can follow along by simply heading over to whatever browser you have. Just go to pplx.ai and that will take you to Perplexity. If you need Perplexity Finance, it should be on the left side of the border over here. So just go ahead and click on Perplexity Finance, and that should load up a very cool terminal. Very, very similar to Yahoo Finance, very similar to Google Finance, and so on. So you should have a little bit of a familiarity with the interface. So I'll just quickly walk you guys through it. You can switch through US or Indian markets over here. Obviously, we're going to stick to the US markets, crypto. Earnings is one of my favorite things to go through because not only does it give you a summary of what stocks are reporting earnings, but also if the company had a earnings call, you get an analysis of the earnings call, you get a transcript of the earnings directly. And if you don't want to, rely on either of those and you want to do your own research, because I know there's a lot of people who like doing that, you can directly go to the earnings release just by a click of a button. Boom. Now I have the
Nice.
Walmart's earnings report in a click of a button, chat, just by going through Perplexity Finance. You can even pull up their PowerPoint slides right there, financial presentations.
So
So
quick.
So
That's
quick.
awesome.
You
Yeah.
don't have to go through their investor relations websites and so on. Perplexity Finance does it for you. So check out that awesome capability. But the question really that was asked is, how does Prad use Perplexity Finance to help him with help him with earnings season? So this is what I do. I have a shortcut called ER scan for the stream, which is my own personal stream. It's a much shorter scan, or a detailed scan. I have created a shortcut for this. I'll quickly show you guys how that
Sweet.
works. So I created a shortcut called, where is it? ER detailed. Which is basically, I tell the AI, you are a hedge fund analyst. You are reviewing earnings. Create a report based on the company, the ticker, and give me the key actuals, guidance estimates, growth and margin reports, call highlights, ongoing concerns, risk and opportunities, special notes. So this is a little bit more detailed about the ER, but then the ER scan for the stream, I basically tell it, you are, again, an expert AI analyst for stock markets for something like Goldman Sachs. Go through Twitter, go through Reddit, and give me a sentiment of people on the certain stock. And then also go through the earnings report and give me a sentiment of that stock. So all I do is do my shortcut system. And then let's type in NVIDIA for an example. And then I'll also do the more detailed one just to show you the difference between the two. So now you see how this is going to quickly do all the work. You can see exactly how it's going through the earnings reports. October, there you go. Report date November. So that's today. Yesterday after hours is showing you the earnings reports over here, giving you some highlight information, some other ongoing risks and so on, peer industry context. So this is a little bit more detailed than this one. This one over here shows you exactly, like I said earlier, summary table, EPS. Where is the social sentiment? 4.5 out of 10. Even though the earnings score is coming at a 9 out of 10, because, I mean, come on, what did NVIDIA grow by? 60% on EPS year over year and 60% on revenue year over year. So the earnings score is 9 out of 10 for sure. But the social sentiment is so disconnected from the price, 4.5 out of 10. Now, you would have to go out there and do this research yourself, go through Twitter, go through Reddit, keep a log of everyone's sentiments, and then make a sentiment gauge for yourself, or use tools like AI to help you do these things, right? And now if you see the sentiment, you're like, oh, maybe I don't want to go long NVIDIA all of a sudden. Maybe I sit back a little bit and I wait for things to actually look better, and then I get long on this position. Another nice little cheat trick. I want to show you guys a very, very cool cheat over here. For those of you who are not very good at technical analysis, you could basically copy the chart, paste it over here, and ask it chart scan, which is another shortcut I've created. What this shortcut does is it goes through a chart, all the variables that are given on the chart, and it quickly analyzes it and gives you actionable intel that you could trade off of. Breakdown, 60% probability that QQQ is going to break down based off of this action. 25% probability that we're going to get a range. We're going to get a range and then maybe a bounce. A 15% probability, only 15 now, and I bet you that's because of this action over here.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that action, maybe that number would have been 20, 25. But because of this action, AI is now giving a sharp reversal back to 600, only at a 15% probability. Now you can use this information as a day trader. I would use it with a grain of salt, obviously, because it's not 100% accurate all the time. But you can use this information to give you some trade ideas. Long reversal, short breakdown, range scalps, and it's basically giving you risk to reward ratios, where your stops should be, where your targets should be, and you are now using your own ability to technically analyze a chart, technically analyze a trade, but you're also using AI's ability to help you do that. And now if you have confluence, if you and the AI think that this breakdown is the 60% probability, then you better be ready to take that breakdown with the A plus or a A minus type of a setup, right? So things like this in AIs, in complexity finance, I feel like are the next step to unlock people like us who are actively participating in the market. Some of us might be experts already in terms of reading a chart or reading a technical patterns on the stock market. But for those of you who are learning, the beginners, this is an awesome study tool, an awesome hack, in my opinion, that everyone could go ahead and apply.
Can I ask a couple of questions, Fred?
Yeah, yeah.
If you showed us the script for the technical analysis, would we like be able to make sense of it, or is it?
It's not a script at all, actually.
Can
It's
can
a
we can we look at the little shortcut that you made? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's actually very simple. You are an expert chartered market technician. You guys know what a CMT is, right? It's a designation. You have to do an exam. My good friend Michael Noss. Have you guys ever had Michael Noss
I
on the
don't think
show?
I don't think so.
No?
No. Yeah.
I'll have to bring him onto the show. He's an
Yeah.
awesome guy.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys know Money Mitch, right?
Of
He
course.
actually works with Money Mitch on his show over
Nice.
at Trade the Pool, I believe. So Michael Noss, awesome guy, CMT, Canadian. So, chartered market technician is basically someone who has to learn a lot of the technical things on a chart. You have to do exams for it, and there's a certification. So I basically tell the AI, you are that person. You are the expert chartered market technician, and you have experience at working at places like BlackRock and other major companies. Focus exclusively on the chart that I provide to you. Use advanced technical analysis techniques, including trend lines, moving averages, support resistances, volume analysis, and diagnose the current price structure and trading environment. Consider multiple potential market scenarios and permutations for the stock for the remainder of the day. Clearly outline the following: expected price moves, key inflection levels, how relevant is the catalyst for the current day. Synthesize your findings into specific actionable trade ideas, for example, entries, profits, stop losses, risk to reward. Alternative plans if the price does not follow my main scenario. Any cautionary notes or red flags. Present your analysis in a structured professional format in a table so it's easier to read. So I'm basically just
So cool.
talking to the AI.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I want it to do, and it does it for me.
So cool. Thanks for walking us through that. The script for the analysis for earnings for Nvidia. Will you show the commentary that you gave, the more detailed one? How did you prompt it to be more detailed? Will you show in the?
So, 100% honesty, this shortcut, I actually stole it from somebody on Twitter,
I
and
think that's
they,
allowed. That's fine. Thanks for
right?
the honesty, though.
Yeah, and the person that I stole it from actually is, they used to work at a big hedge fund, and now they work directly for Perplexity Finance. So they
Oh,
are
badass.
helping Perplexity Finance build it out, and they shared
Yeah.
this example, and I was
Sweet.
like, oh, this is a great example. I'm just gonna steal the prompt exactly the way it
Yeah.
is. So it's basically going on. It's telling the report to go through the year over year EPS growth numbers,
Okay.
go
Gotcha.
through the catalyst and summarize it, and see if there's any cautionary notes. Very similar to what I have, but mine is a little bit more stream oriented, so I don't have to read tons of
Sure. Sure.
lines.
Sure. Cool.
And the other one just a little bit more detailed. That's all. And I'll show you the results over here so you can see how it's going through the key estimates. It's saying slight miss on the gaming revenue, beat on the data centers, guidance EPS not disclosed, not widely EPS consensus, growth margins, anything for the risk. Let's go take a look at the risk. Potential new US EU export restrictions, such as China restrictions, which I thought were lifted, but maybe still some ongoing issues over there. Supply demand for the AI, possibly an issue overall. Major opportunities, peer industry, special notes. Yeah.
Awesome. It's such a tool. It's such an asset. A tool in the
Yeah.
tool belt.
I,
JV and John Dowsett are asking if you can share like a link to the shortcuts to the scripts or whatever.
I actually can. Give me a second. Cometprompthub.lovable.app. So this is a website I created to share my prompts, and other people could also
That's so
create
cool.
their own prompts and share it themselves.
Hell
A
yeah.
couple of my friends have created their own prompts and shared it, like Dieter or Angry Buddha. These are my friends who I trade with directly. But
Awesome.
here are my prompts. Anything that says buy trader Prad, there are basically my prompts. And this website I created through AI. I asked the AI website, it's called Lovable, and I said, create a website for me where I can share my shortcuts with people. And bang, it took like 13 seconds to make this. So the ones that you guys are looking for should be, there you go, earnings reports, SEC scan. SEC scan is a good one too, especially if you're a small
That one.
cap trader. So if you go to SEC scan and just type in, let's type in a quantum name, IonQ. What this does is it goes through the most recent SEC filings, like the 13F and other relevant filings, and it gives you a little bit more.
What just happened? What happened for you guys? Can you guys hear me still? What did it look like on your end? On my end, I lost my connection and then Prad disappeared. Okay. Well, let's give a heads up, or let's give a sec here for maybe Prad to rejoin. Prad. Oh, cool. There he is. Technical issue. All good, Prad. He probably can't hear me. There he is.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened over there. All of a sudden,
I think it. I mean, did anything happen on at your house, at your home?
no, everything's
It,
fine
it
here, but
must have been a
the
StreamYard thing.
StreamYard restarted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must have been a StreamYard thing. Okay, all good.
So
Let me put your screen back on.
so as I was saying, the SEC scanner basically, let me just log into my account. Boom, boom, pow. Let me just pick a random stock from EPSM, a random stock from the small cap scanner that I have that I use. And this is a way to scan for stocks through the SEC filings. And there's an awesome feature in Perplexity Finance where you can turn off everything else except for the SEC filings. What this does is you now limit the AI from going on to the internet. I don't want the AI to go to Yahoo Finance. I don't want it to go to Google Finance and reading articles. I don't want it to go to routers or routers or however you say and reading articles. I want it to only go through the SEC filings and give me information from the SEC filings. So I turn on SEC filings over here, and then I can go ahead and type it. Go through the SEC filings for NVIDIA and tell me who owns uh, uh, um, who owns the shares and what is their current holding. And just by typing in little sentence like that, it's gonna, you can see boom, 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 boom. It's going through all of the SEC filings available at its disposal, and it's going to quickly give out that information for you. While it does that, I'm gonna go back into my other tool, which is still working. It's taking a little bit longer because I have this program to actually use a longer thinking model. That way it gives me better information. So there's so much that could be done here. Here's the IonQ SEC report that I did. So it basically went through SEC filings for IonQ and is showing you what companies own the shares of IonQ at the moment, options activity, recent options activity coming in, major corporate developments, other important information that you might be needing, such as financial performance highlights. And all of that is not being hallucinated or read through articles. This is coming directly
Right.
from the SEC documents. So awesome stuff in general. So that's Perplexity Finance, which I would urge all of you to check out. I maybe I could even throw in my little affiliate link if I can find it at some point. But for now, you guys could quickly just go to pplx.ai, and then you should see a little finance option just in the left side of the
Sweet.
toolbar over here.
It's like it's kind of fun too. Like it's not something that I've been messing around with it, but watching you mess around with it, I'm like, damn, I kind of wanna like get into this stuff a little bit.
Yeah,
Seems
this browser that I have at the moment is also it's actually a Perplexity Finance browser. So you guys might not be familiar with the browser that I'm using, and you're wondering, wow, how is he able to directly Google or use AI through the browser? But here's a cool little thing I want to show you: tradingview.com. Let me just go to TradingView real quick. Can I open up a chart, please? Let's go to Apple. Apple, yeah, launch chart. I want to go to an easier chart to read. Actually, yeah, you know what? We'll just use this chart. So in this browser, let me hide my drawings. In this browser, I can basically open assistant mode, which is the AI in the sidebar itself, and bang, chart scan. So now I don't even have to provide a picture of the chart. I just let the AI take over the browser, look at all the information there is on the browser, and give me the information in a readable, tradable information format. So there's so much going on with
that's
AI
wild.
tools these days that it's almost like prediction markets. If you're not playing with these tools, you're gonna fall behind. And the worst thing that you can do in any environment is fall behind and lag because you're not growing at that point.
This is so cool, Prad. I really enjoy like hearing all the info that you have. You blow my mind every time. Like I'm gonna keep saying it.
I'm just here to have some fun with you guys and share what I know. So I'm happy that you guys are enjoying it. Any questions, feel free to ask. So like last time, I think it was JV, you asked me to showcase the Perplexity Finance. Thank you for that, JV. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. And I'm here every Thursday, 1 o'clock chat, every Thursday.
Awesome, Prad. If that was the wrap, I'm cool to wrap too.
I really don't have much else to talk about.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
cool.
quickly
No,
look at my notes over here. Yeah, I think I
we don't
basically
gotta
hit
force it or
everything we want to
anything.
talk about. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically hit everything. I do want to. I guess we have 3 minutes to kind of banter between us both over here.
it's whatever. I
Talk.
mean,
I,
we can
I
we
want to.
can, but
I want to talk about Murderbot.
you want to talk about Murderbot? Okay.
Yeah. So, guys, chat. I don't know if you guys know about this book called Murderbot, but Brent put me onto Murderbot. I'm gonna be honest here. I am not a book reader. I did not read a single line. But what I did do is I checked out the Apple TV show, and the
Yeah.
show was very good. I enjoyed
Nice.
it. The show was awesome. I just
Nice.
wish it was a little bit longer. But you said the
Yeah.
book's not that long, right?
Yeah, it's like a book series. I think there's like 7 or 8 books now, and they started as novellas, like 70, 80 page books, little novels or whatever.
Okay.
So it kind of matches the show. If you're telling me the show's short, maybe they were like trying to keep in the style of the books. But so it's the show. You wanna describe it, or you want me to describe it,
Now I'll
or
let
should
you
we not
describe.
describe it? Should we not describe it?
I think we'll let the chat look at it, and then we'll
Check it
circle
out.
back next Thursday, see if anyone watched it, and then see if we can have some conversations with the chat. But guys, yeah, Murderbot, good TV show. Shout out to Brett for putting it on me. I've been enjoying it a lot. I got 2 more episodes left, so I'm gonna probably finish it right now while I eat my awesome lunch.
Nice,
I made
nice. What do you
I
got?
made shrimp coconut curry last night for the family, so I'm gonna go eat some of that.
Ooh, sounds awesome. Sounds
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
All right, I'm gonna go get some lunch too.
Yes, sir.
All right, Brad.
Everyone, have a great day. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.